Hi, and welcome back to Mike's Deep Run Railroad. Today I'm going to do a video on commanding dwarf signal aspects based on turnout commands from JMRI using a local net. So if you're interested in something like that, stand by and we'll get right to it. What I'm going to be using for hardware is products from Hans Tanner. This is his Tindy store. He has a web or YouTube channel called Internet of Toy Trains, IOTT, and you can find him on the internet or on YouTube. Today, what you're going to need for hardware is an IOTT stick, the regular or the +2. The +2 has more battery and more memory, but for this application you're going to need a dedicated power supply, so I opted for just the regular IOTT stick. And you're going to need a blue hat, which is this little module here. This is going to control the NeoPixels, and what we're actually going to be controlling is a WS2811 chip that you can get on the internet. I got mine from Alibaba. It took about 3 weeks to get here, but I only paid $3 for 100 of them. And let's get started. So I've created a playlist for myself of Hans's video tutorials, and for this application you're going to want to review video 16, 22, 44, and 102. These encompass what I found the most useful elements to achieve what I'm wanting to achieve, and that is to control these dwarf signals based on switch position, thrown or closed. So once you get your blue hat and your M5 and you go through the tutorials on how to configure them, essentially the module will connect to your train room Wi-Fi, but you could also use an access point if you're more comfortable with that. But I have it connected to the same Wi-Fi that I use for my throttles, my JMRI, my command station. Here you can connect it, configure the M5 module. We're going to want for this application, because I use LocalNet, we're going to have the LocalNet LB server client. Going to select the blue hat module. Communications server is going to be a LocalNet server. You come down here and you save and restart, and you have to have your M5 module connected to a USB port. I believe it updates via USB. And that will set up these other tabs up here based on your blue hat. So you go over here and you set your client. This is where this is my command or my JMRI computer IP, and there's the port number for LocalNet. To verify that you've got your LocalNet configured, you can pull up the LocalNet message viewer and send a command. I'm going to just send a switch command. There they go. So this is the page that you're going to use to set up the addresses for your LEDs signals. The module, the WS2811 chips use an RGB. And Hans goes over all of these settings up here. You can see my defaults here. For this testing, I just have 16 LEDs that are set up for addressable. He says you can have a couple of thousand. He goes over the colors. He doesn't go over this because I think that's a new addition. He hasn't updated a video on it yet. But down here is the meat and potatoes of addressing your signals to change the LEDs based on your switch position. So a couple of things that are important over here are your LED number. The way these things are addressed is that they're in a serial chain. For simplicity, I just started with 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, as you can see here. Now, we want to use switch. He has several different options here. He goes over all of them, but I don't want to. We're just going to do switch. And the switch that we want to control our dwarfs is going to be based on switch 432. Now, Hans explains why this number is one less. I just take it at face value. So for switch 432 on my layout, you need to put 431 in here. For that switch 432 to control these LEDs. You still with me? Okay. So you add these fields here by clicking the plus over there. You can see a new LED address and configurations box pops up. If you save this file to your IOTT stick without these values being filled in, it'll crash. So you want to make sure you fill in these values. If you do crash it, you're going to have to reload the software. And if you've not saved it to a file, you're going to be upset. So let's remove that. So save often. So here we're just going to be using two colors when you're doing dwarfs, red and green. And here you can see on the switch thrown, I'm going to set LED 0, which is on the board of the blue hat, to red and green. And for the ones that I'm going to show you here, do the same thing. 431 thrown, we want it to be red. 431 closed, we want it to be green. So that signal is going to be located at the entrance to the points. 431 thrown green, 431 closed red for LED 2 is going to be on one of the throats. You could have it on either side because it would be the same thing. Now, on entrance to the points, I've set, when it's thrown, I've set it to red, but I'm going to have it blinking. I want the train crew to know that the turnout is thrown, but it's okay to proceed if that's what you want to do. And that blinking will indicate that to the crew. And you can set that all up in here too. You can set it local, global. You can ramp up and down the intensity of the LED if you want, but that won't be, that's not really something we can do when we want to use a blank. But when you're on a static, you can have the colors fade in and fade out when it transitions, especially what it does. So I've already saved this configuration to the M5. I'm going to go over here to my, over here on my JMRI layout. I'm going to switch 432. And let's see what the signals are. Right now the signal is thrown, which is got my signal 1 is red light flashing, and I switch it back and I get the proper indications, and now I've got a quick and easy way to control these signals. Now I'm going to zoom in on the wiring of these dudes. As you can see, there's a lot of wires, as always is with signals, and a lot of ways to screw up. Common anode LEDs to have this work. So this is separate from my CAT signaling. This is not dispatcher controlled. This is, I wanted to have some form of indication on the layout so that when I'm at the other end of the room, I can verify what the switch position is. And I think this is going to do it for me. So I know it's a crazy long video. I hope you enjoyed it, and complicated, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. So stand by for the next one. I'm sorry. Talk to you later. Bye.